Just get the link. Where am I? Forex. Your channel. Videos. Live events of traders. Okay, so that's the URL. Videos. Okay. Good. Okay. Morning, everyone. I don't know when Tom's turning up. I suspect he's out doing something. I'm just, you know, when you take a trade and you shouldn't really, and you know you shouldn't, but you do. So I took this GBP JPY last night, and I'm currently, yeah, I got quite a good entry on it. But the reason I took it is this. Let me just show you this. So I think this is a nice bearish pennant. Look at that. You see that there? And got in kind of here on, in fact, I got in last night's signal, which was here. Okay. And if it's flat as anything, but we've got a new prime minister in the UK, and it looks like the Bank of Japan are kind of keen to, the Bank of Japan are kind of keen to keep the dollar and the dollar yen now suppressed so that it can't, they don't want it going up higher. And it's really odd that also we've been bouncing around. Now I think we might have, I mean, look at this solid top there, and then we've got this bottom it's been trading in. And you know how I often say to people, normally it's there that it hangs around, so there's a bit of an odd time that it's trading here. It's in the wrong place to be hanging around, and I think it's a bearish pennant there. Although you could have, yeah, you see, you could have said the same thing there, and look what happened. We got this bounce down to here. Now there's my take profit sitting here. Now, just because it hasn't happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. But I'm thinking, right, we'll see a break of this. If we get a break of that, so if you're a more cautious trader, obviously you see the signal and you just wait for that break into this sort of area, into this fib level, and then set your target down there. But it's a really nice big trade with a target of, oh, in fact, we can measure it from here. Of course, if you're using Hurricane Forex, it's 270 pips. You can use it. If you're using Hurricane Forex, you can use the trade calculator, which is based on the current price. So if you entered now, we'd have a 3-to-1 risk reward. So it's a good risk reward. The risk is with it is it's very slow and flat, and you know, I normally don't get into flat trades. I don't like them. I don't like trading something like this, but I got in a good place here. I think it's quite a neat place, you know, so just have to see what happens. I mean, it did pull back last night, but then it's carried on back down, and it's not making higher highs here. So I'm pretty happy with that. Going back to the gold trade, let's see what's happening. I've got this huge gold trade in mind that I had on since yesterday. Nothing has happened since yesterday. So I think the schools have thought of this. So I think I'm right. Tom's here. Tom, hello. So I was just going to go through this gold trade. So I really like the idea that we could get a repeat, because the shape, look at this, is exactly the same. It happened at the same place. A repeat of this back up to there. So it's like, this is like one enormous W like that. Okay, now, but of course with these pullbacks and everything like that, which you expect. But Tom, I think I'm right in saying, Tom thinks there's going to be, it's going to do something else, which I think is go up to here and then pull down. So I'll let Tom explain that. And Tom's busy, so I'll just explain. That's what I think anyway. So I'm waiting for this gold trade. I'm waiting for the buy into it. Been waiting since yesterday, but at the moment it's just hanging around like a lazy thing with nothing better to do. News-wise, I don't know if there's anything on news-wise. Let's have a little look. News, there's not a lot until... No, there's not a lot of news today. I can't see anything too critical. We've got some Chinese news, but there's some CBI business optimism UK. There's nothing really that's going to, but it could be a bit of a boring day. So we could just see another day of hanging around in here with gold. I would like to be looking to get into this nice long if it's going to happen. So there we go. So good luck, everybody. Welcome to the forum. Good to have you on board. We're growing slowly. It's really cool. Just invite your friends along. If you haven't checked out the Hurricane Forex indicator, it's worth having a look at. It takes a bit of understanding because it's, you know, it's sophisticated. You know, it's not, you know, when you look at things like your momentum, you can see momentum. See, you know, yesterday I was discussing this. We were about here. We were discussing this trade, and I was talking about how momentum's dropping off, but it hasn't finished dropping off, and we need to get, you know, we need a push in momentum. See the green. So that's when we get a push in momentum. Look, you see, you've got a sell signal there. There's the push in momentum. And look how it peters out. And look where it peters out. It peters out at the bottom of that fib level. So it's almost like it hits the fib level and goes, I haven't got the energy anymore. I'm completely exhausted. And then it's lost its momentum to the downside into the downtrend, pulls back up straight through the 50 period Heikin-Ashi moving average. We get new momentum and get a new sell signal. There it goes. And then it goes down to here. And when then we lose momentum, you can see that starts happening here. You can see in the Heikin-Ashi candles as well. Now, normal powerful bearish Heikin-Ashi candles look like this. You can see where there's a top. The top's flat. And then when you start getting these candles, they are indecision. So that's when the market can't decide anymore. And lo and behold, we start. And then there's no signal there because we were in a downtrend. And at that point, the indicator would calculate that you're in a downtrend, so you don't want to touch this. Now, there are times when it will pick up something like that, a move like that, but it's going against the trend. So there's nothing to tell you that that's not going to just come up here and just sort of not make it any further and go into another sell. Apart from the fact we are at a huge bottom in gold. But, you know, looking at some other charts, just looking through, just page through the charts, and it looks crazy. You know, it does, but this is quite... one of my screens that I'm doing this on, this is a bit of a low res screen, but it's cool. I like to see it, and I like to zoom out a little bit and have a look and see what's going on. But you know, you could let's take this. There's a signal here, which you wouldn't take, which you didn't take because although there is a move into an uptrend, okay, you've got to check the 5-minute Heikin-Ashi chart, and it's mostly red. But also this is the newest 5-minute candle, which is there's signs of a greenness. But you would have stopped out on that trade, but it's not exactly a trade. You probably don't want to be taking it into a long, but there's a lot of flatness at the moment. There is a lot of flatness because last week on Friday, the Bank of Japan intervened in the market again and bought loads of suddenly out of the blue without any warning or notice, which is what they do. Talking about chart structures again, you see I in the forums, there's a chart structure section. Here's a classic head and shoulders reversal. There you go. In progress. So I'd be looking for a sell off this. So New Zealand Swiss. Okay. So I'd be looking for a sell somewhere over here. You can see we still got bullish momentum, but look how the 50 period Heikin-Ashi is moving against the 200 period. They starts moving towards it. You see that? The same thing happened here, in fact. Okay. So it could just be a little bit of a pullback. It did bounce quite nicely off the 50 period, the 200 period moving Heikin-Ashi. It did get some momentum into here. This was still bearish momentum down here, folks. So, you know, you can see how things, when you get that sort of structure where things don't add up anymore. So what we ideally want is something like this. Look, so you've got a buy, you've got momentum, you've got structure, everything's right for that trade, and bang, you're off. Another one here, straight up we go. And it keeps hitting that look at how it hits that the fib level. See how it's hitting the fib level again and again. It hits the fib level there. This one didn't make it, but who cares, because your stop's there. So if you'd have held that trade, you would have had your second trade there. So you could just add trades into that big nice run up. That's a lovely upward trend. Then we've got this break of the trend. You see there. and we're now looking at a something. I don't want to take a buy here because my worry is that it's a head and shoulders reversal, in which case it would probably come up. Unless it's weak, it can't do it. It might stop here, or it probably will come up to the 38.2 and then do that. Okay. However, this is the markets and they do what they do. This could simply be a double top. Okay, and that could be a bearish bit with a pullback. But how do you tell? You don't. So you wait for a signal, and that will confirm. When we get a signal, that means that the indicator's measured that everything's lining up, everything's in the right place. So we've come out of, so for instance here, you can see that we've come out of, we've done a rally, then a pullback, then a rally, then a pullback, then a rally, then a pullback, and it gets these signals right. Okay, so the sorts of trades we want to take, big rally, and look at the way, you see the momentum starts dying off. So it had loads of momentum to get up to there. In fact, it made it up to this fib level. So it made it across 2 fib levels. And then you see the momentum dying off. It stops having this strong push. And then we get some new momentum here up to that fib level. A little tiny bit of momentum there, but it was a big move. And there's the Japanese intervention. And now markets are a bit all over the place. And, it was hard trading yesterday. I didn't do immensely well, but the trades that I've got on that are still in, Euro Swiss long and GBP JPY short, are doing very well. So I'll just make them ride. And that's the very important lesson to learn. Don't keep taking profits out too early. Set your targets, sit with it. Move your stop up behind, but don't get too close, because if you do, you'll stop out. You need those big profits to cover the little losses, because we are effectively predicting the future. And I lose trades just like everybody does. Everybody loses trades. If you go on forums and they only ever show you winning trades, it's a bit worrying. I lose trades, okay, quite regularly. It's like the key to the markets isn't getting lots of winning trades. It's managing your risk reward. It's staying in the trades long enough, like. So if you're in something like this, look at this nice run up. There's it's two fib levels. Oh, dollar CAD. Okay, let's do live analysis. Here we go. Dollar CAD. Okay, so let's look at this trade. So what am I going to do with this? So I've got to sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. It doesn't know what it's doing. Let's look at the overall trend strength. It's minus 2.9%. So it's slightly bearish. So I'd favor on getting a bearish sell out of it. But it's flat. Now the 5-minute Heikin-Ashi is bearish. So there is a trade here, and it looks like it does. You can look how the 50 period moving average down. I'm going to take it just for fun. Okay, I'm just going to take this just for fun because I'm nice like that. But you'll notice that I don't want you to do not take this trade. Okay, I'll take my things tie up here. See, there's a take profit marker. That's that little gold box. I'm just going to pop my take profit there because it just happens to be just inside the 0%. 0% is not a fib level, but it seems to work in terms of bouncing. This, my friends, is probably a bearish pennant. In fact, you look at that. There's a lot of this in the markets today. Okay, so I just need to set my stop. Stop, and there's a red dot there somewhere, so I'll stick it by that arrow. Probably need it to be a bit closer. If you start getting this where you get lots and lots of signals, I think there's a little trade there. That's the trade. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. Let's just use these. So if I click on this here, drag this down here, and then I click on the green one and drag it down. So yeah, it's a 2-to-1 risk reward. It's a teeny weeny trade for no pips. You shouldn't be taking this trade. I'm just doing it to show you. I'm just doing it to show you, the sort of trades you can take. This is tradable, but I might stop out on this because it's just not going anywhere at the moment. You can see how although the 5-minute Heikin-Ashi chart is bearish, that's the nade candle at the front. Kind of like the look of it. I'm in it, whatever. So my risk reward at the moment's 4-to-1 risk reward at the moment because I've got what we've got open at the moment. Yeah, so Swiss yen short. GBP JPY short and dollar CAD short. And on my other account, I've got some different things going on this other screen. I'll do what I've got going on the other one. Dollar CAD, shouldn't be going near that. On my other account, I've got simply Euro Swiss and GBP JPY, which I'm kind of sticking with. In a short, that's all I'm sticking with at the moment, because the problem is that when the markets get rocked by something like a bank intervention or something like that, or something's intervened, then it takes time for it to all settle back into some kind of trend. So what we're trading in at the moment is kind of a trendless market where there's not a lot of trends around. It makes it very difficult to trade. So you can basically take a few little snippets of profit here and there, but you've got to be very careful because you may end up in a bit of a losing streak. And it's funny how traders sometimes blame themselves when they took perfectly good trade setups. And sometimes it isn't your fault. You've done everything's in line. You've taken your really good trade setup, and the market just, something happened in the market that no one was expecting, and it all went against you. All you've got to do, it's all about odds. This whole thing is about odds. It's about, this is going to succeed, isn't it? Look at this. Off it goes. It's all about odds. Okay, so things that give you more odds of success are bigger risk reward, making sure that you're winning more trades than you're losing. And when you win a trade, you stick with it. Don't just keep quitting the trade. One of the things that Heckin actually helps you with is that, so a move like that, I can guarantee you, about here, it would have wobbled around and just sat there for a bit. And a lot of retail traders would have taken their trade off and gone, oh, well, I've got a little bit of profit. But you need to hold your nerve. Do you know what I mean? So that's why. So if I was in this trade here, when it hits this fib level or that gold marker, I would put my stop inside my entry to take the risk off. And that's another trick, is taking your risk off. Okay, don't overdo it, because sometimes you can take your risk off and the trade and it stops out in profit, but then it carries on going and you missed out on the trade. So it's hard. Trading is hard. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy. Don't let anyone tell you can have a simple, I can't believe that I know, you can have an indicator that where they give you it highlights pin bars or something, and they go, yes, trade just with this and it'll be the answer. It's not. The amount of maths that goes into something like this to work out when to put a buy arrow is huge. Making sure you've got that momentum building, making sure you're in this nice trend. So you can see this. I mean, this was a really nice trade here, but unfortunately I was a bit wary of it because this was Euro Swiss. I've got it still on. I'm still in Euro Swiss, but it's a little bit flat at the moment, but I'm safe on it. That's on my other account. Euro Swiss. Was it Euro? No, I've just closed the chart on my other account. I've got this really funny thing with my laptop here that's very, very annoying, that if you click on the left mouse button, it closes the chart. Why would you want to close the chart? Ugh, to reopen it. Okay, Euro Swiss. Yeah. So I'll just pull my other account up anyway quickly, so you can see is the Euro Swiss that I'm in yesterday. This is the one that Tom said wasn't going to happen. I've got my target up here actually at the moment. I think it's going to pull back. It's very static. It's like it's waiting for some news. Normally, if markets go flat like this, it's waiting for news. Anyway, so I've got to go and see a new office today because it's going to be cheaper to someone asking me questions. Social calls, okay, because it's actually going to be cheaper to rent an office than heat where I live. So I may as well rent an office and have all the nice facilities with free tea and coffee. Good. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's it for this stream. There's not a lot more to say. Waiting for the gold trade, waiting to build up some nice trades in there. And I wish you all a really good trading week. Just be happy and careful. And if you're interested in the Hurricane Forex indicator, it's $30 a month, hurricaneforex.com. I use it bare. I know Tom's got some other things he does with it, but I just use a raw chart. I get a signal, I look at the signal, I look for patterns that like head and shoulders patterns, trends, and all the you know, just because you've got this indicator doesn't mean you throw away all the other trading knowledge that you have. You need, you know, you can tie all that in. So it's a good idea to know what chart patterns look like and what you're looking for and seeing those in the market. But what this does is it gives you an instant view. So when you get, you know, the amount of times I've got into news trades, because what you do is you wait for Hurricane Forex to give you an indicator, an alert. So you get these alerts. Ding. Dollar CAD sell, you know, it comes up like that in news. So you're out of all your trades in news, and then you hit the news, you wait. You sit there and wait till you get a signal. And if you don't get any signals, you don't take it. And the other thing you'll notice as well is that you get a lot of, sometimes you get a lot of the same signal at once, like you get GBP, JPY, GBP, USD, GBP, Swiss, sells or whatever. So you go and look at all of them and decide which of the one is actually in the trend. So let's say you've got GBP, JPY and it's short and it's been in a downtrend for a while. Take that over taking GBP Swiss or GBP USD, which is flat, because you're already trading with the trend. So it gives you much more, it increases your odds of a successful trade. Anyway, so at least my little Euro Swiss trade is chugging away forever. Okay, have a great day. HurricaneForex.com is the website, hf-traders.com. If you want to join the free forum, we're not charging for anything like that. We just want people to come and have some fun and maybe make some money. Cheers. I'm trying to end the stream now. I'm supposed to run a video clip, apparently. Is this what?